Welcome back to the NattyShedLife podcast. If you're just joining us for the first time, we are shining a light on all the employees of Gillies and Mackay. And this week is all about Bobbie and Jamie. So Bobbie and Jamie both started with us in 2022. They're very young. And Bobbie is the lead woodcutter and Jamie is one of two bench joiners, and they both have extremely difficult and precise jobs to do. So you'll hear all about their journey with us today. They're both young dads too. So Jamie's just become a dad for the first time, and Bobbie is expecting his second child very soon too. So let's get stuck in. We're ready to go.
Aye, I'm waiting on you, pal.
Bobbie. Bobbie, so when did Bobbie join Gillies Mackay, and what was his role at that time, and how did you find him?
How did I find him? Well, I didn't find him. I honestly believe that Bob just snuck in the back door. Like, he's never not been here. But he actually came in 2022 as a sort of shingler, painter, flat packer, glazer type role that we'd created for the summer houses to try and get them to where we needed them to be. But then obviously it transpired that we weren't the problem, the summer houses were the problem, and that role became sort of obsolete. But it did help us a lot in terms of like establishing proper processes within the workshop for handovers and tick sheets and quality control and things. But regardless of that, then what happened was a little bit of a carry on. So I think, first of all, Lewis, who we will talk about later, tells us that the bench life is not for him. And he wants to go and try something else. And he's leaving Gillies Mackay. And he's literally giving me the absolute bare minimum notice. And this is after Lou training on the bench for a good solid 2 years type thing. And just complete devastation. We're like, fuck, what are we going to do? So that happened. And then the whole rigmarole around what Jamie's story is plays into that. But as that was happening, and we just kind of made up a plan for that, Galen, our woodcutter, goes to me, I think I need to go back to college. I need to go and find myself and do all these wonderful things. And so now we are going to be down a woodcutter too. And I'm just like, this was like, I can remember walking out the back door of the office and then saying to Grant, I have no fucking idea what we're going to do. Yeah. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Anyone else want to go? But thankfully, Galen is proper sound. He gave me plenty of notice, and it was a perfect opportunity to get his replacement effectively trained up, which just happened to be Bob. So Bob applied for the job, and knowing that he was going to do that was just such a huge relief there was a confidence in that. We were like, yes, Bob's got this. And we knew what we had to do, and we knew based on what we'd just done with the first round of new people coming into the business, how we train. And so we knew that Galen would have it. Galen's a brilliant teacher. In fact, Galen had to put up with me back on the saw in 2021 when another thing had happened. So he knows what he's doing, and he's really good at it. So he was training Bob up to become effectively the lead woodcutter. And Bob just took to it like a duck to water. And with Bob, there is precision, there is the capability of retaining information for quality control, and there is also speed. I have no idea how that boy maintains that stamina and speed throughout the entire day, cutting buildings in half the time it would take any senior to do. He's phenomenal at it, so focused, razor sharp, gets the job done. And he loves it. He loves the ownership of, basically, when you're the woodcutter, you have the dominance of the whole bottom area of the workshop. It's all yours. And it's great. I'm speaking quite passionately because when I started at Gillies Mackay, that's what I did. I cut wood, and I can remember the content that you would get from turning up, sticking your headphones in, and just cutting and playing math sums in your head about quantities and lengths and what you're going to get out of what and how many trips you were going to have to do. Just the simplicity of that, the way that you complete the job, everything's stacked up neatly, you know it's all there, you're checking it all off, and you've done a great day's work, and it feels like you are fully contributing to what's going to be made next. And you are the starting point. You're the person that's picking out the best bits of timber, you know. So yeah, Bob really, really owns that role 100%. And because he is so organised and so capable and so quick, he does lend himself to others regularly, which I suppose is the first and foremost will be what people say when they talk about Bob, is his kindness with his time and his patience for others. Yeah.
Why were you, like you mentioned about Bobbie, at the time when he applied for the role, that you were so sure that he was right for the role, and like from what I've seen and understand from the past is like filling that specific role, the woodcutter role, is so hard to get the right person for that role. So why were you so sure that Bobbie was the guy?
Yeah. Because Bobbie doesn't let people down. That, like, if Bobbie says he's going to do something, he'll fucking do it. He doesn't let people down. He turns up. He will stay back. He will help out. He will be the first to volunteer. That's just in him as a person. If he knows he's capable of doing something, he'll do it. Whether it's for himself or whether it's for his people, he will be there. So we knew that him going for this position truly meant he was going for it, and that we weren't going to be stuck in the same position that we have done for fuck knows how many years. I mean, dad was cutting wood from day one, and cutting wood for two men, and like the colossal amount of just pressure that must have come from that, which I recognise, and we'll talk about it in Gordon's story, but to know that Bob was going to turn up and actually take it seriously and want to do it, like physically and mentally be there for the position, rather than getting into the position and going, this is pretty hard fucking work. Maybe I'll do one of the other jobs that have a bit more variety to them or difference in the day. But no, that's what he wanted to do, which is testament to him.
What was that conversation like with Bobbie when he was, like, did you interview Bobbie for the role?
Yeah. So Bob had to apply along with anybody else, and he had to do an interview. I'm fairly certain it was Chrissy and Callum that did his interview for the woodcutter role. And like, it was so funny because obviously you're doing this interview with him. He's the best person for the job. He's the only person that we believe that actually wants to do the job properly. And you're sitting there asking him the interview questions when really what you're wanting to say is, Bob, please, can you take this job?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you're doing us a favour type of thing. And yeah, it was an easy decision.
What does that feel like for you specifically, seeing someone like Bobbie step into a role that your dad had done for so many years?
Well,
it's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. And like, I think, as I say, like, and Gordon probably feels the same, you know, as previous woodcutters of G&M, like, to know that the baton's been handed over and now that somebody else is fully responsible for that role. And that effectively that department, like, as I say, like, there's a whole lot that goes into that, especially when it comes to like managing the quality of timber and the wood, and also like the amount of different types of materials, the different when you're cutting a building, you create an offcut, and that offcut is either usable for something else or it has to have a different purpose. To manage all of that inventory is wild. Like, it can be all consuming and it can get out of hand, and then you've got to reestablish where everything goes and what everything's used for and what the grading is. And you know, Bob has to do all of that, as well as just cut the buildings.
Yeah.
And some of these buildings that we're doing now are just insane in terms of complexity. So, yeah.
And what's Bobbie like on the bench? Not the
On
bench.
on the saw.
On the saw.
On the saw.
On the saw.
Well, I mean, you know, technically he's got a bench, but it's steel runners. But yeah, so what is he like? Well, it's happy. It's happiness that comes from him. I don't know, like he's a character. Like he's just like, when you see Bob, like he's always got time for you. Number one, like straight up, have a chat, give you the crack, give you a smile.
Yeah.
And so like even like when he's in his flow, when he's focused, he's driven, he's doing what he's needing to do, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He's got to check in with his bench joiners to make sure they understand what's been cut and what bits are for where. He helps them as well. So if there's things that aren't quite right or something that needs changed in the moment, then Bobbie's the guy that goes and gets a new bit and cuts it, whatever. So there's a lot of like teamwork that goes on, as well as solitude when you're just constant cutting back and forth, back and forth. And he just handles it like he just looks happy in what he's doing all the time. He takes it very seriously. He wants to get it right, and he wants to make sure that everybody understands what he's done for them, so they then can make it easy for them on the bench when they come to making it as well.
How does Bobbie influence you mentioned that there's a lot of teamwork involved, and that is, you can see it is the case in everybody's positions in the workshop, but Bobbie is first and foremost when it comes to that. Like, how does Bobbie influence the pace of the workshop and the culture of the workshop?
So as I say, like, he takes his role very seriously, so it's like he knows that there's a job to be done. So I mean, we all like to fuck about every now and again. There's some days when you're not on your game. Some days you're a lot slower. Some days you've got shit going on at home. But for Bobbie, the consistency in that man is like completely unknown. Like, I don't understand the level of consistency that Bobbie can bring in comparison to normal human beings. Now, this is the difference. There's Bobbie level and there's human being level, right? Nothing wavers that boy. Like, even if he's feeling shit, he's got stuff going on at home. He's got a young daughter, and his missus is expecting another. So, like, you know, there's always things that get thrown up in the mix when you've got a young family, and none of that ever bothers Bob. He gets the job done, and it's just like that type of attitude towards his work. Like, it's so important to him, and we're not asking it of him. He's showing it to us that that's important to him. So it's like, yeah, the way in which he influences everybody else is that they know what they're getting from Bob is good, and when they get something good from Bob as a starting person in the workshop, he's the first person to do the job, so he has to cut wood. And the bench can't do anything until they've got their cut wood. So if Bob's putting that much effort and dedication into what he's providing for them, then that obviously has an impact on the bench joiners to do the same for them. And, you know, we'll speak about them individually too, but it starts with Bob. And I think when your job is starting it, then it's the influence for everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't work side by side with Bob, but you can kind of observe the workshop and how he moves within the workshop as well, and how he speaks to you as well. And there's almost like, when you speak to Bobbie, he's just got a calming presence.
Yeah.
He's just so nice. Like you say, he always has a smile on your face, and like his emotional stability is like beyond his years.
Yeah.
Like, definitely, like everything that you've described there. And like, when you're in your presence, like, you could have everything going on in your head, but Bobbie's just like, and he makes you feel like zen and yourself as well. It's so nice. Mm-hmm. Like, you can see him when he's working with Gordon and stuff. Like, there's no tension there. There's not at all. It's just a constant flow back and forward between them both, which is like really like incredible to see. In terms of teamwork between them both. Like, what does Gordon say about Bobbie?
Yeah, I really genuinely think, like, with Bob and Gordon, there's another level there, because they are both woodcutters. So it's like their partnership and how Bobbie approaches his work relies heavily on Gordon's mentorship. So everything to do with how the building is cut and how best to use the materials has been taught to Bobbie from Gordon, to the levels of which Bobbie's cutting at today. So the types of buildings that Bobbie cuts are so intricate. There's tech sheets, there's different ways, different methods, and there's always a way of which then Bobbie has to then articulate that back to the bench joiner to make sure that they fully understand what he's done for them too. That all comes from Gordon. So when Bobbie goes about his work, there is a huge sort of like Gordon-fied influence on side of him, and they do work really well together. And I know that there's a massive appreciation from Gord. Like, as I say, like the consistency and the level in which Bob turns up at is phenomenal. But there was one time that Bob was under the weather or something wasn't quite right, and I remember the genuine worry from Gordon, like want to check up, want to make sure he was okay, and the going to the levels of like making sure that Bob was getting a rest. Like, he was obviously under weather, he's still turning up, there's shit going on, and Gordon wanted to safeguard him, to give him a recuperation, to make sure that he was going to, and that, like, that's really good to see, because it's so easy, especially being the ops director, just to be like, go, hammer, let's get this done. Hurry up is Gordon's motto. So to see him recognize where Bob was at that point, and to give him a safeguard, was really like, I don't know, I was just dead proud. I was proud of both of them. One, for Bob being able to say that, you know, that he wasn't feeling great, and two, for Gordon actually doing something about it as well. And I mean, that's like literally the only example that I've got for ever recognizing Bob in that sort of position. And then the relationship between him and Gord. But they are thick as thieves. They're really good to each other. And, you know, Gord will step in and help whenever Bob needs him. And Bob will always say that he doesn't. So.
And what about Jane?
Jane
and Bobbie.
It's funny because obviously, like, when you're not in the workshop, you don't get to see these things. So the only sort of time that I get exposed to it is if we're like on a works do, or if I'm there up for stand up, or if I'm overly involved in a project. So so it is funny whenever I hear Jane speak of Bob, because she is so fond of him and his generosity and his kindness to everything that he is as a person. Like, he gives Jane the time of day. Jane's job is very on her own, because like she doesn't have a team, it's just her, and there's a couple of them. So there's Jane, there's Ailsa, and there's Kath that do roles that are sort of like are supporting of the business entirely and not really fit to one department. So Jane goes about her day in her maintenance role. She's our maintenance legend, and she often needs a hand with things that are more than just a one-person job. And the person, obviously, that gives her the hand is Bob. But Bob's also Jane's mate. Like, he's good to her, he's kind to her, and so like Bob and Jane, like, as I say, like, Bob's got the whole bottom of the workshop to himself, so he's quite often on his own, and Jane's always pottering around doing all of her bits in between everyone, but not really having a space of her own. So so Bob and Jane's relationship is like they've made their own little team. You know, Chrissy and Jamie have got each other, Dean and Aaron have got each other, so it's like Bob and Jane have got each other, and they're cute. They are cute, and Jane always thanks Bob at stand up. She's massively grateful for his efforts, and just the fact that he gives a shit.
What do you think drives that giving a shit attitude in Bobbie?
I fucking no idea. It's so rare. It's so rare to see someone as young as Bob is, and the generation in which he's in, and all the different ways that he could have been, to see him be this person that just, he does give a shit. He does give a shit, and it makes him feel good. You know, you can tell, like, he doesn't have a choice in it. Like, it's within him, like he has to. Like, he wouldn't be able to sit knowing that he's left somebody that needed help. Like, you can just know that the selflessness in him is just really beautiful. I don't know where it comes from. You need to ask Bob.
Oh, Bob.
He
Bob,
probably,
we're getting you on.
Bob, where are you?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I don't know. It's a deeper conversation, isn't it? Really. But I see the way that he turns up for us, and I know that he does that for his family too.
It's almost like it's coming back to that kind of old wise ways of thinking that's really, really like rare, like within that generation. And like, I mean, we would love to go deeper and figure out like where it does come from. Like, what is there any specific moments for you where Bobbie's shown you that side to him?
I don't know if there's an example like as in a story. I think it's more just of a feeling of certainty. So just like as I said when he applied for the job, there's this thing, this book that I'm reading, and I'm getting some of the managers to read just now. It's Impact Players, and it's something along those lines where if you have the ability for your boss to think about you in a certain way, where there is the reliability there, where it is that your boss can count on you, like that is a really powerful position to be in, where you are the person that turns up and does what is expected before it's expected. Like that's the type of person Bob is. He's a key player for me because I know that I can rely on him, like unreservedly. Like there's nothing that this business could face that I couldn't say, Bob can help me with this. And that I know confidently that he wouldn't let me down for it. And so, and because I don't like have a specific circumstance of help that Bob gives me, is because he helps me every single fucking day, because of that reliability, because of that confidence I have in him. Like he's a remarkable lad. You don't get it often. So
well, the thing that came up for me there was like he has no fear. Like absolutely no fear. Like if he's someone that you can rely upon, that you could give him any task and he would just like do the task, and you know that you would trust him with that task. Like there's no fear there from Bobbie. I think like for some people, someone like myself, for example, I could be faced with a task and like fear getting in the way of doing that task and be like, I can't do that. But for Bobbie, there's just like there's no fear there.
There isn't a fear, but I think also that comes from his confidence in us as well. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a loyalty there. Like Bob believes in everything that we're trying to do here. He has no reservations about that. He's like, I believe in this company. I think we're shit hot. I think we try our best. I think everybody here is trying their fucking best. So I'm going to give it all my all, and I'm going to turn up, and I'm going to help where I can for the cause. And the cause is the belief in the company. So like I think that confidence is like a two-way street, you know? So we give him confidence so he can believe in us, for him to turn up with his confidence to be able to serve it. So, yeah.
What about Bobbie and Jamie?
Bobbie and Jamie.
The duo.
The Golden Boys.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's funny, because when you're recruiting, and like there's this thing where it's like if you're employing someone that you know, there's a bit of fear there, a bit of trepidation, and versus like how you might then become responsible for their performance, or how they turn up at work. Mm-hmm. And so with that, like whenever we are recruiting, which is quite a lot because we're a growing company, so we get everybody, all the applicants are checked, are vetted through everybody within the company, and it's like we all have a part to play in selecting the right fit for G&M. So when we had to find a bench joiner within 14 days, thanks Liz, and have them fully trained within 6 months, cheers Lou, the only answer that was that we had to be absolutely fucking certain that the person that was coming in and was going to fill that role was going to be capable of doing the job. And thankfully, not least 2 months after Bobbie was here at Gillies Mackay, Jamie, Bobbie's pal, got the job on the bench. And having that, again, confidence and reliability in Bob and the type of person that he is, to know that he backed Jamie was a good thing. And Jamie has excelled beyond measure. Like, if there was like a Guinness Book of World Records for Gillies Mackay, Jamie smashed it. Do you know what I mean? Like, getting into this company, to be chucked onto the bench, to be able to make one of the most complex builds within a 6-month period of not just being able to make it, but make it better and neater than anybody else is just remarkable. The precision and the dedication that boy put into his training was phenomenal. He had the best teachers, obviously. You're never self-made. Like, Gordon knows everything there is, obviously, to do with pretty much any role within the company. And he was a fantastic teacher and mentor, and as is Chrissy, and they just honed that boy to an exceptional level within like record-breaking time. Just phenomenal. And we knew all through that, like, Gordon backing Jamie is a funny thing as well, because I feel with Gord, like, he understands the type of mentalities that's required for each of the individual roles. There's a certain somebody that we need for deliveries, and they're different to the type of person that we need for wood cutting, and they're different from the type of person that we need for parts, and they're different from the type of person we need for bench. There's individual qualities in each. So when it comes to deliveries, these people need to be okay with it working in the outside. Like, we don't need any preciousness about cold, wet, wind, snow, whatever. They have to be able to endure that. Like, that needs to be okay with them. When you're on the saw, you need to be so precise in terms of your measurements and your grading. Like, if you don't get that right, and that goes into a building and it gets all the way to being out on site, then that just fucks everything up. So you need to have that accountability and in wood cutting. There's nobody saving your ass, right? And then on the bench, you need to be okay with doing the same fucking thing every single day. That's what's happening on the bench, and you need to be really good at it for the building to go together. In parts, there is a meticulousness, a detail of wanting to make sure everything looks pretty, and worrying about how it looks when it's done, that you need to care enough for that role. So they all have different elements. And I think with Jamie coming in to the bench, and where Gordon's expertise is identifying the type of person that's capable of fulfilling that. And with the accuracy and the monotony of what happens on the bench, I think for Gordon to know that person needs to have the gumption to keep up, to go at speed with agility and with precision, and not get disheartened when shit doesn't go right, because that's what happens on the bench. It can knock you. If your confidence gets knocked, it's like at playing a sport, I think. You know, like, if you miss a couple of shots and you start to get down in the dumps about it, and then your whole fucking game goes to pot. That's what it's like on the bench. Like, you fuck something up, gets inside your head, sets you back for the day, and like, they know the mental strength it needs to be able to operate on the bench is high bar. And I think, like, so with Jamie, it'd be easy for you to assume that this young lad, he's 20, and he looks younger, and you'd be like, it would be definitely easy to assume that this boy enjoys kicking about in his motocross, being loud and wild, and that's it, you know. And that would be your assumption, that he's a bit of a wildie. But that's just, in terms of like surface, that is all that is, because underneath that, Jamie's depth and thoughtfulness is really, really interesting. Really interesting. And I think most recently that's coming from where he's at in his journey right now.
You can see him on the bench. I take photos of them sometimes in the workshop, right? And Jamie's a superstar when it comes to taking photos. He's a model.
He is a model. He's so natural, eh? Yeah. He doesn't even look at you.
Yeah. But when he's on the bench, there's just something about the way that he moves on that bench is different from what I've seen before. It's just like the way that he moves his body. It's hard to describe it. The way that he moves his body, like you see precision in the movements that he makes, like on that bench, and he's so hyper focused as well. Like he's like, it's almost like predatory in a way, but like, you know, the eyes are focused right on what he's exactly doing. The way that he moves with the nail guns and stuff, it's like it's rare to see like something like that. It's almost like he's a master already.
Yeah.
And like he is, right? Yeah. And like it's beautiful to watch it. It's like Jamie creates art. It is art on the bench,
they all
essentially.
Are. Yeah. And I think like the way that you're describing Jamie, it reminds me of how I describe when the deliverers are loading. Yeah. So like they don't speak, and it's all like synchronized swimming. Like that's what it's like. It's an art form, the way that they move together and that they know what the next movement is. Yeah. And it's like that, like the agility around the bench, like everything just flows. Like the big air hose tubes that come in for the nail guns and stuff like that, like they flop about and they know where they are. Like they're in the periphery and they're like,
it's intuitive.
Like all this like hand movement. It's totally wild. Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, it's repetition, but also it's their own art form. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the difference between being fast and being precise? And how does Jamie manage to do both?
Well, that's funny. You can only be fast if you're right. That's the difference. So you can be fast and fuck up a lot. And then that means that you're not fast. So the speed in which you are working at can only be deemed a success if what you're doing is right. So if you make a mistake, then your fastness, your speed doesn't count. So with Jamie, what he does is that he doesn't have to be fast, he just has to be right, which makes him fast in the end, if that makes sense. Do you understand? Like, so if you take, it's just time, isn't it? It's explaining the concept. So if you're thinking like, this person can make a shed in 2 hours, okay, but that shed that they make in 2 hours is made with a bunch of different errors that all need rectified before it can go out on delivery. And then when it gets out on delivery, there's something else that hasn't been picked up on that also needs rectified out on site. All of this is the extra time that actually means the shed took 6 hours. Jamie can make it in 5 hours. And when he makes it in 5 hours, he makes it perfect. And there's nothing that's wrong with it. And it goes out on site and it goes together beautifully. That's the difference. So the precision makes Jamie fast. Time doesn't make him fast.
And that must be it's hard to teach that, isn't it? It's like what is within them.
It's overriding as well. So like for Gordon, from his generation and his training, much similar to Chrissy too, it was piece pay. So you had to make the buildings as quickly as possible, and you could make 5 sheds in one day. Like that's how ridiculous it was. But that doesn't transcend into what we do now, because that's not what we're making. Like we're making far more complex, high-end, high-budget buildings that need additional time for all the extra bits that we do to them now. So for Jamie, when he's getting trained by Gordon, the precision's all there. It's coming in, it's clicking in. He sees it, he repeats it, he continues that process. He's getting it bang on every time. What isn't coming is speed. Gordon's looking for speed. He keeps looking for speed. And there's a conflict of what is right and what is wrong. And Gordon's there with his 30 years experience of, this is great, but it's just not fast enough. And there's me standing there saying, I don't care if it's fast enough. Is it right? Yeah. And it's like, so we did have this conflict. But obviously, naturally, the more you do something, the quicker you get at it. So there was I think a short space of time, like I'm talking like 3 months tops, where Like, we had to compensate for that. And like, that's great, because now what we have is Jamie knowing full well what the importance bit was getting it fucking right. And he will not compromise on that. And that's phenomenal. Like, for a boy at that stage, so early on in his new role, in his new job, to be able to mind over matter. And this is what I'm saying about the deepness on him, the thoughtfulness in it, is that he understands, he can tell himself getting it right is more important than getting it fast. And so, like, to be able to do that, to be able to stand on his own 2 feet and say that to himself every day, when everybody else is saying, could you make it a wee bit faster? Could you make it a wee bit quicker? No, I'll just make it right. That's what I'll do.
It's been Gordon and Chris is the one that's taught him, right? And you leading him as well. Like, what kind of craftsman in the future and leader do you think that's going to make Jamie, having all 3 years?
I'm excited. I honestly, like, there's been times throughout my entire career where I'm thinking, like, I'm not getting out of here alive. Like, this is it. And I'm going to have to do this for the rest of my life. Work this hard, be this ill, and continue to turn up and sacrifice. And I tell you, I swear, like, even just in the last sort of year, the amount of proof that I have now of all of our team that are so capable, that I want to see that the possibility of me becoming obsolete being a reality, like, that is the end goal, my succession. It has to happen. And knowing that the third generation have got it. I told you this, when was it? It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. We had 4 custom jobs on. Everybody was at their limit in terms of, like, capacity. Like, so many things could go wrong. And so much of it could rely on being saved or other people helping out. That entire week was probably the most beautiful week I've ever experienced, where everyone was on their fucking game. Everyone was performing to such a level that required, like, absolutely no saving, no firefighting, no nothing. And it was just like, standing there thanking the team for that on that week, I just thought to myself, this is fucking it. This is it. This is what I'm talking about. We're now at a stage where everybody's at performing level. It's so calming to see and to know. So for people like Jamie and Bob, like, when I am gone, I know that these guys have got it. They've fucking got it. They've got it now. Yeah, definitely.
They do.
They've fucking got it now. So, I mean, Gordon's like, will you stop saying when you die?
Yeah, that's it. I think, like, you have been wanting for that moment for so long, and never, like you've worked your ass off for it to make sure that the things are put in place and key, and, like, a lot of things haven't worked out. And, like, you can see it now. Like, things are locking into place and things are starting to ease up, and like, everybody's becoming, like, really confident and really good in the roles, and, like, management and leadership are confident that those persons are the right people to be in those roles as well, and then, like, it's all starting to click together in a really ecosystem that's starting to shift things in terms of freeing up different spaces, different opportunities for things to happen, rather than being so which is hard, and within the operational space constantly all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's starting to shift, and it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. See, it's the same thing that's happening in the sales and marketing department. It's the same thing that's happening in the workshop as well. And, like, I mean, like, I don't see it. I see group chats. But you can see it in the group chats in terms of how the communications are starting to shift as well. It's happening. It's happening. And it is a testament to all the training and all the leadership that's been happening, and all the confidence and having within those people as well. That's like, it's sticking out.
Yeah,
it's sticking out.
It is sticking out.
Aye.
And it's fucking brutal to learn that lesson, for me and you specifically. Like, if this vision isn't happening tomorrow, then where the fuck is it? Like, we get so impatient.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
come on, have we not completed it yet?
Aye.
What?
We want it right
I thought we'd done life, right? We not completed that? No.
Yeah. We're Gordon. It's not fast enough.
Come on. Aye. Yeah, but I mean, we have learned that. Like, it was a hard learn, but me and you, like, that's something that we've talked about umpteen times, is just like, it only works if you give it time. And now it's working.
Yeah.
And
how long's that been?
20 years. Overnight success.
Yeah. Well, that's like, you see everybody else's successes online, and you're just like, who the fuck's mine?
Come on, get on with it.
Aye. Back to Bobbie and Jamie.
Oh yeah.
Enough about us.
I know.
Bobbie's like the quiet storm.
Mm-hmm.
And Jamie's like the fire. Right?
Yes.
What do you think that pairing symbolises for Gillies and Mackay's future?
It's a repetition. So you look at Dad and Grant, you look at me and Gordon, you look at Bobbie and Jamie, the partnerships continue. You look at all the other partnerships, you look at Dean and Aaron, you know, you look at Amy and Kieran. It happened, me and you. There has to be the person who's being assertive and forward pushing, and there has to be the one who's considerate and thinking. And that's how it works. So it's like, and even we've got so many good characters in the mix. There's not just one and the other. Like, there's tons of us, and we all bring different qualities to the group. And I think the diversity in how we all think it's pretty cool, actually. There's so many different
cool
thoughts.
And wild.
It is fucking wild.
It is wild.
It is wild. And it works. I love that we're all diverse. I love that we all have different ways of thinking, and we bring everything into the mix. Yeah. Jamie and Bob are good.
Is there anything that you want to say about Jamie and Bobbie that we haven't spoken about?
I think if we take it into a sort of personal level, I think I'd like to say that I am massively excited for the babies.
Oh, the babies.
The babies.
Yes.
Because there's nothing stronger than becoming a parent when it comes to being able to lead. And, you know, I say it because I am a parent, obviously. So if you're not a parent and you're a leader, then great. Well, fantastic. I don't give a fuck. What I'm saying is that in my experience, as I lead this team, I do it with the fact that I know that I'm a good mum. And I know that with Bobbie and Jamie embarking on fatherhood and creating their small families that they've got, like, that's only going to better them. And I'm so pleased that they've started this journey, and that Jamie got to welcome his first child, his baby girl, Rain, into the world. And he returns to us on Thursday. So I can't wait to see what his face is like. I missed out on seeing the baby. They brought the baby in last week, so I'm gutted. But I'm sure I'll get a chance. And then Bob is expecting his new bundle of joy in February. He's already got his baby girl, Alora. And yeah, so.
And he speaks so highly as well.
I
know.
know.
The way he speaks about it, I'm like, oh,
he's just proud. He's a proud dad.
He is,
and it's like that's the context that they come from. Like, family is important to them. And I don't know, maybe some way that because this is a family business, that it bleeds into the same sort of mentality. Like, I do feel part of their little journey. I do. And I love it. And I'm so excited for them, because as much as I bitch and moan about looking after children and the trials and tribulations of running a business and being a mother at the same time, I wouldn't change it for the world. No way. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what they're going to be like as dads. And hopefully, you know, the kids will have shed making hands and we can get them involved as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. On the bench.
Yeah. 5 years old. Let's go.
So it's probably a spot on place for us to finish when we've got the nice warm fuzzy feeling about babies, and call it a day on Bob and Jamie. Good chat.
Yeah.
Enjoyed that one. That was good. And then what are we talking about next? Who are we talking about next?
We've not even decided yet.
No, we haven't actually. I'm fucking bullshitting you. Sorry.
It's part of the game. We're winging it. Yeah.
No problem.
Bye.
Bye. So it's welcome to the Shine Life. The Shine Ned Life.
The Shine Ned Life. The Shine Ned Life.
Natty Ned Life. Yes.
Shine Ned Life.
I love it. I love it.
Alright.
We should do a parody for that.
Fuck's sake.